Welcome back on Untitled. Today I want to propose you a video about
the unboxing and review of the Core Rulebook of the 9th edition. This is the special edition that we can find in the Setbox of Indomitus, but it's the same of the core book that you can buy separately. Simply it's changed that there are no writing on it, so it's really nice about this. And anyway, if you want to take the normal one, there is no difference at all about the contents inside, so not worry. Anyway, I want to remember you that there is also another version to have the rules that are inside, and it's this one. In this one you can find the rules, and anyway you can find my review about this in the playlist under here, so in the description you can find that one. So anyway, these are completely different. These are only the rules. This there is much more, but it's up to you to decide if it's worth or not. So take a value. This is surely more light, really lighter, and there is here that it's more I can say handable, because really you can bring with you and so on, and it's quite easy. This one it's much heavier and less I can say handable, because there is a problem that it's a bit uncomfortable to bring away, but it's nice to make a reading and so on, because there is a lot of suggestions here that we'll go to see. So decide which version you'd like more, because you can have both of them like me, or simply you prefer one or another. This is also a video that can make you understand if you prefer which version you like. So we can see here also how it's done. I think that it's really amazing, and we can compare this with the previous rulebook, and we can see that it's a bit thicker but not so thicker, so it's good. Anyway, I think that there is an amazing volume, really heavy anyway, so really heavy, but I think that it's really nice to watch. So now we can start to see the contents. Here we can find Screaming Face that meet us. They are really not bad anyway. Here a classical image of the Emperor on the throne. Here a bit of background that summary the Indomitus, and here the contents. So we can find that there are a lot of things and a lot of background. About half of this it's only about background, because there are a lot of things to see. Here there is the classical introduction to the hobby, so that you can see, for example, the miniatures, you can see the collecting, you can see some things that can suggest you how you can develop this hobby, and I think that it can be interesting, so really quite good. And here a suggestion about how to play, and here there is the start of the background. I like that this image is about the Blood Angels, and I think that it's really quite amazing. There is also some maps hidden here, so there is quite a lot of things that can be really nice to see. I think that as a reading can be nice. Moreover, if you have just begin this game, because if you want to understand the background, the history and so on, this is something that it's quite good, because there is the background of almost all the armies, at least some lines. And I think that also the images can bring you inside this atmosphere, this era, so quite good. There are also some little histories and so on. Wow, it's quite amazing. There is a lot to see, from old part, from new parts. There is almost all the background, at least some detail about the background, so you can move during the eras of the Empire and before, because there is also the history about humanity. So quite a lot of things to read, and as you can see there is a lot of nice images that you can use also to keep track of, for example, ideas and so on that can be used. I know that I'm repeating myself, but there is quite a lot of material, so what I can say, here there is also the part about the, I can say, the showcase of the miniatures, so that you can have an idea on how it can be played and so on. You can see armies. Okay, if you begin it's too much, this one, but it can also give you inspiration about what you can start to collect, and time by time you can collect it. Also here the house, see these artworks, they are really quite amazing. If you go to buy this volume, it's because you like the designs, you like the history that there is, and you want to have the inspiration and a set also of the models that has been released during this era. So I suggest you to buy this, because there is quite a lot, really. And I think that it's the main part, because eventually also here the war zones, the forces, it's something that lets you understand how the history developed at this point. And I think that it's amazing, simply. You can really have a lot of things to read here. So really a lot. And we have just arrived here to the rules. About the rules, I want to remind you that in the description there is the playlist about the rules themselves, and I release a step about the rules each day after the release of the book itself. So give me a little time, because there is quite a lot to say, because there is quite a lot of rules that I wanted to make, I can say, a focus on, because there is quite a lot to say, as you can see, and I wanted to give a bit of insight about them, because they are free. You can have the rules for free, but sincerely I like also to analyze them, and anyway having in a single volume the background and so on and the rules, I think that it's really quite good. I'm skipping a bit because there is quite a lot to see. The rules are not so much, as you can see here. Simply they waste a lot of space to make it comfortable, and I think to make it thicker, but they are not bad. They are anyway nice images in the middle, and there are the missions and so on, so we can have a lot. We have still suggestions. We can have battle first armies that are the way to play the, I can say, the armies for the matches. Here we have the different detachments that you can find in other places, but they are the same that we've seen before. Simply you have to be able to play your, I can say, armies. You have a normal amount of command points that you gain based on the amount of points that you go to play. Simply each detachment has a cost, but you recover the cost of the detachment if your warlord is inside that detachment, so it's for free at the end. So there are quite a lot of things to see about this. And here we have also the stratagem. So as you can see, there are a lot of things inside that you should like to see. Sincerely, reading with such big text is easier than on smaller manuals. And then we have the open play. And with the open play we can have a sort of fun. I mean that here there is a way to play different other ways. For example, open hostility, where you can play other specific missions that are about themes and so on. You can really reconstruct different type of games. Then we have the magic play, that it's when you are trying to have a game that is balanced. So we have the Eternal War missions that are a lot of missions that you have eventually. And here we can find the secondary objectives, for example. And here the different main missions that we go to play. So there are quite a lot of things that are available. So here, for example, there is There is quite a lot. For example, you had the incursion ones that are the mission for the smaller games, and then the strike force that are the games for the main. So for one you play, I can say, the normal gameplay to the tournaments and so on. So there is quite a lot to see about, really quite interesting. And then we have the narrative play. And then we had the narrative play that let you see that we have the option, for example, to play with the Crusade. For example, we can reconstruct the Indomitus. And there are a lot of interesting rules that we can find about, because we had the option to create our profile, our cards about our game and units. We can find how to make the requisition points. And there is quite a lot of things that we can use. For example, here we had the option to personalize a lot our armies in a lot of different ways. Here we had, for example, the rank and battle honors. So this is, for example, it's taken from the previous edition of the General Handbook of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Here we had the option to make again the options of the weapons and of the psychers better. We can take the relics and so on. So there are a lot of things of doing. So I think that it's really quite interesting to develop. Here there are the schemes that you can compile to make or better photocopy these ones to play your games. So I think that it's really quite amazing, and there are always these amazing images that are really quite wonderful. Here we had the packs about the Crusades, so we can find the way to play them. It's really organized. It's have been done really an amazing work here. We have also the missions that we can play with different. So we had the combat, the really small, like almost like skirmish ones. We had these that are for the small missions that we had a small amount of force, around 1000 points of worth, and here a bit bigger. So there is really almost a sort of campaign. We can call a campaign this one, and it's done really amazingly. I like a lot, essentially. Here for even bigger missions. So quite nice, really quite nice. And then we have the rules appendix, where we can find other options that are really quite interesting. Because, for example, here we have the amount of blast weapons. Because here there is, for example, these ones are the weapons that has the new rule about blast, but doesn't have still in the profile, because there has to be have yet the updates. So at least here you have the same. Here we have the rules that we can have. So it's really quite interesting, because there are a lot of things that can be used. I remember that I'll make also a video about these rules anyway. And here we have the Rustam Glossary, where it's explained when they say something, so that it's a sort of way to make the specific about the rules. And I think that you have to read also this one if you are going to play. It's not so difficult. Simply take this like a value. And then we have another amazing images that are really awesome. And then we can finish. So what to say about this core book? I think that it's really quite amazing. There are, as I said you, a lot of things that you can really appreciate. The background, a lot of background, a lot of artworks, really quite a really amazing artworks, and a lot of them available. And also the rules, because you have the normal missions, but you can find the Crusade part, that I think that it's really a nice way to play a campaign. It's really a rich way to play and to develop. I think that it's amazing. You have also the narrative one, that it's good, the open play. So you have a way really to personalize your games. It's really complete. So I don't think that taking the Chapter Pro 2020 by itself it's not good, but simply it's two different things. That one it's focused on the fact that you have to concentrate on the tournaments and so on. So it's that part. It's a small part of this. It's lighter, but and cheaper obviously, but it's less than all of this. This is a really nice guide to enter in the world of Warhammer 40k. Either that you decide to concentrate on the background or only on the rules. Anyway, there are a lot of rules that you can take ideas from and so on. So it's really quite awesome. Anyway,
From Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again. To the next time.